As you can see, the views from Blue Mesa Outpost are absolutely stunning. The park offers easy access to the Blue Mesa Reservoir, as well as the Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and all kinds of absolutely fantastic hikes are nearby. But the park does have a few quirks that we think you should probably know about. The first thing to be careful of is Cove Road. Be careful not to miss it. We were not expecting this narrow gravel road and nearly blew right past it. Cove Road is narrow, bumpy, and windy, and just wide enough maybe for two vehicles to pass. While we were driving up this road, we had to wonder what would happen if we were pulling our rig up at the same time that someone was pulling their 43-foot fifth wheel down. We might be able to squeeze past one another, but it would be pretty uncomfortable. As we were cruising up the road, after a while we started wondering, where is the park? We couldn't see any rigs. Then, finally, we saw this sign, 940 Cove Road, up ahead. So we carried on. Then we reached this fork in the road. At first, neither one of us saw this sign directing us to the right, and we seriously considered going to the left. Do not go to the left. That road dead ends and there is no turnaround, so you would have no choice but to reverse your rig back to this point. Once you turn right, the road narrows, and it seems even less likely that two rigs could realistically pass one another. Personally, I found that a little unnerving, but luckily there wasn't much further to go. From here, you just continue up the road, curving off to the left until you reach the sign just up ahead that says stop, park here, and go visit the office to check in. We'll walk by the office in just a second, but for now, let's take a quick cruise through the park. On the left is the laundry room. Up here on the right is where I shot that beautiful vista from the opening few seconds of this video. I don't know about you, but I could stare at this all day long. It's just spectacular. Blue Mesa Outpost is a very small park and there are only 12 spots in total. However, of all the spots, there was one in particular that we liked the most, and I don't even think we would go back unless we got this one spot right here. It's spot number 1, and in our opinion is the best one in the park. On our trip, we stayed in spot number 12, and we thought it was one of the 2 least good spots in the park. More on that in just a second. There are 9 other RV spots in this row, and any one of them would be a decent second choice, but the view out your front door will most likely be the back of someone else's rig. Now let's head over to the other side of the park. In addition to the laundry room on the right, the park has a few other amenities I don't cover here, including cabins and a pretty cool game room. Tucked away on the right here is spot number 11. It's tough to tell on the video, but it's small, cramped, and wedged in between several obstacles. It seemed to us that even a small rig would be painful to maneuver in and out of this spot. Now this is where things start to get a little wacky. When we booked Site 12, this is the path we thought we would follow. Makes sense, right? It would have provided a nice straight shot to pull into our site with hardly any hassle. But nope, when we arrived, this instead is the path the owner said we had to follow in order to get into our spot. That's right, we had to do a 3-point turn. First, we had to pull around the side of the office right up to the edge of a cliff, then back up onto the road before finally pulling forward into our site.
Now, you might be looking at that road ahead of us and wonder, what's wrong with that? Well, it may not look it from here, but that road was steep and narrow and primarily intended for cabin access, not RVs.
Believe it or not, the three-point turn was the better option. Once we got into our site, we had even more wackiness awaiting us. So there you have it, Blue Mesa Outpost in a nutshell. Amazing beauty as far as the eye can see in every direction, access to the reservoir, Black Canyon, and some really amazing hikes. Just be prepared for some potentially wacky utility placement and parking situations. Our recommendation would be to avoid sites 11 and 12 altogether and just stick to the main loop. Blue Mesa Outpost is the reason we now travel with 75 feet of hose wherever we go. Which reminds me, the park owner graciously loaned us a hose during our stay, which we very much appreciated.